Hi, today's math lesson actually has to do with why Tom needs to sit so close to the restroom at work. You see, Tom drinks a lot of water through the day. This water tank holds 5 gallons of water. Tom uses water from this tank to fill his many water bottles in his pitcher. He uses the water tank to fill 6 bottles that each hold 1 pint. And he also uses the water from this tank to fill a pitcher that holds 2 quarts. Your challenge is to figure out how much water is left in the tank after he takes out 6 1-pint bottles and 2 quarts. How much of the 5 gallons of water is left? Let's go to the conference room and talk about gallons, ounces, pints, quarts, everything like that. Sometimes it's hard to remember the gallons and pints and half pints, quarts, conversions. So I like to draw this right away when I have a problem like this. This drawing is easier to remember than it is to just remember all the numbers. So one of the things that you can tell by the drawing is that there's 4 quarts in a gallon. There's 4 Q's inside there. And then within each quart, there are 2 pints. And really tiny inside the pints, there's 2 C's, which means cups. But this is a really good way of remembering some conversions. One last tip to solve this problem. I would think about changing everything to pints first. As you can see, there are 2 pints per quart. I would think about changing everything to pints. Remember that he has 6 1-pint bottles and 1 2-quart pitchers. So 1 pitcher that holds 2 quarts. And there are 5 gallons in the tank. Your challenge is to find out how much water is left in the big tank after he empties the tank into all those containers. Pause the video here and work this problem out because it's really going to help you with today's and this week's homework. Hey, in the PowerPoint homework I gave you, you'll have this slide so you can fill it out to explain how much water was left in the tank. And if you need to rewind and go back and look at the question, do so. It's a bit challenging, but I think you can do it. This isn't too bad. The main point of this is that there's 8 ounces in a cup. So Mara has a can of paint with 3 cups of purple paint in it. She also has a bucket with a capacity of 26 ounces. Will the bucket hold all of the paint Mara has? So you can do this on your own. So pause now and see if you can figure out the rest of this. And I'll put the answers on the next slide. This isn't that bad. You're going to take 8 times 3 here. That's going to be 24. So we're just still trying to find out if her bucket will hold all the paint that she has in the cups. And as you can see, it does. Okay, this isn't that bad. What if Mara has 7 cups of green paint and a container filled with 64 ounces of yellow paint? Which color paint does Mara have more of? So try to figure this out on your own, hit pause, and then check your answer on the next slide. I know what you're thinking, that I didn't write it in yellow font but there's no yellow font in GoAnimate. So get over it. Coral made 32 pints of fruit punch. That's a lot of fruit punch for a party. She needs to carry the punch in 1-gallon containers. How many containers will Coral need? Okay, this is one of those problems we're going to work on. Hit pause and work on it on your own. I will refer you to the drawing. If you can see here to my left, your right, there are 2 pints and a quart. I'll help you a little bit here. It looks like just a little bit of division. And if you're patient and you watch this, hit pause if you think you could do it on your own. But also, if you can't, you can keep watching. Okay, none of the homework's that tough. It'll take you a little bit because I gave you a baseball answer, but you can have fun with this or you could crank through it. It'd be more fun to watch it if you spend a little more time on it and animated it. But if you don't have time for that or you don't have the tech, don't worry about it.